All right, thank you, everyone. My name is David Shear, and I'm a customer consultant in North America, and I'm joined by one of my wonderful colleagues and customer representatives, Melanie Moore, and we're here to present Custom Discovery Tied to Mission, Developing and Implementing Strategic Research Health Communities in the Pure Portal. So the big question that will be addressed here is, what do you do if Discovery doesn't showcase the strategic mission of the institution? Even with things now like the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, what if these directories and indices are not best fit or applicable to your institution's strategic mission? So that is the question to be addressed and resolved today. So we have a brief agenda. We'll introduce a brief history of UTMB, where Melody will also talk about her island. It's fantastic to hear. The history of Pure at the University of Texas Medical Branch in Galveston, their challenges and solutions, as well as future plans for their strategic communities.
So thank you, David. I appreciate that and the introduction. And since this is the first day that I've seen many of you, and I haven't been able to meet many of you yet, I wanted to tell you a little bit about me outside of work. First of all, this is David and I. So a little bit about me. I'm fortunate enough to have 3 grown children and 2 bonus children who married 2 of my 2 oldest children. And even though I didn't think I'd like it at all, I am a grandmother now, and I actually love it. So those of you who aren't grandmothers yet, it's actually not as bad as it sounds. And I also am a mom to 2 fur babies who I love very, very much. I also love travel. I just can't get enough of it. So in addition to being able to travel to Porto in this beautiful city, thank you, Elsevier, for that opportunity. This year I've been to Alaska and the Bahamas, and I plan on going to Colombia in January. So, and lastly, I love my island, and I always want to share it with as many people as I can. So as we go through the slides, you're going to see a little more of my island and through the graphics. So this is a story about customizing, taking a great idea and customizing it for your own use, or necessity being the mother of invention. I'm going to discuss with you how the University of Texas Medical Branch, also known as UTMB, used the Pure created SDG icons for our own custom use, or the idea of the icons for our own custom use. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the institutional history and how our research has dovetailed into our use of Pure. UTMB has a long history of addressing diversity and addressing associated needs. And as an academic medical center, this vision has driven our growth, and both academically, clinically, and in our research. We are located on a barrier island just south of Houston, Texas, less than 20 miles from a major port and one of the world's largest petrochemical complexes. Historically, and this presents opportunities for research. As you can see from the timeline here, our major research focus comes from, in some cases, over 100 years of health issues that started locally and allowed us to build internationally recognized programs. So Pure at UTMB started with SciVal experts in 2013. Our leadership was looking for a way to track research across the university, and SciVal experts was the answer. So we were one of the first U.S. customers and one of the first, definitely, Texas customers to use SciVal experts. In 2015, UTMB participated along with 12 other institutions of the UT system in what was called Influent. Notice 2 U's, I don't know why. But we went along with that for a couple of years until 2017, when UT system basically scuttled the use of Pure. And my thought process is one of the major reasons it did is the academic institutions did not have the patience for Scopus to catch up. Scopus was mainly known then for science journals, and they didn't have the patience for Scopus to catch up to the academic, the social, the ethics, and things like that. So, but we stayed the course, and in 2018 rebranded to UTMB Research Experts, got rid of the influent with 2 U's. And it has allowed us to really showcase and track our scholarship. And I'm a major cheerleader for Pure. I love it, and I have pushed for it at our university. So in 2019, we were faced with some challenges. We had a new vice president and chief research officer, and he began planning for future research at UTMB that would mesh with the goals of the university's strategic plan. And the strategic plan included establish new centers, programs, and institutes that would lead groundbreaking initiatives. These included an Institute for Drug Discovery, a Brain Health Institute, and more. We also wanted to build and further relationships with peers, aspirational peers, through more regional, national, and international collaborations and alliances in both basic and clinical research. And then we wanted to increase Blue Ridge rankings and NIH rankings through more research. So the alignment and goals resulted in the creation of the Research Strategic Plan and the RSP Research Health Communities. These are the 6 health communities you see here, and these health communities bring researchers, clinicians, and patients together, working together to really address the problems and address the health and patient care. Health communities are closely affiliated with significant collaboration, and there's an overlap between them. So the challenge became, how do we focus on analysis? How do we analyze what we do? How do we quantify all that goes into research, and how do we communicate and display these results in a way that anyone looking at our website can see it? We want our peers, our potential collaborators, those with whom we want to build and grow relationships, to know what we do. Fortunately, at the same time, Pure introduced the United Nations Strategic Development Goals, or SDGs. SDGs are not being utilized much in the U.S. and definitely not in the state of Texas or with University of Texas system. But I really liked the idea of being able to put those badges on individual researchers or the departmental web pages and on our main Research Experts page. So I like the graphics, I like the way the platform communicated and melded the goals that we were trying to accomplish. So I took that idea, I contacted Pure, and I said, can we create strategic plan badges, and based on the keywords that are listed underneath the strategic plan here. So the badges are shown here. I got to work and created 6 health community badges, and then there's a certain group of people that do not fall into a health community. So we created a 7th called the Fundamental Science Group. And these communities are shown where they on each expert's individual profile, and they're displayed with a tag. Now, I haven't been able yet, I'm still crossing my fingers and bugging Pure almost on a weekly basis to bring these badges onto the graphics, onto their personal profiles, but right now it's only a badge. So how it worked is researchers with 10 or more research outputs within a health community, say infectious and immunological health, would receive a health community badge on their individual profile. These are based on the last 5 years of publications. And researchers that did not have 10 or more, whichever research community they had the most of, that's who they got badged for. So they would receive the badge for their largest input. This is how we did it. Between 2016 and July 5th of 2021, UTMB had 8,142 publications. I used those publications as my source, and decisions on which badges were assigned were made on the following justification, which within each health community was a list of research included. Example, specialized health included heart, lungs, kidney, hematology, musculoskeletal, etc. I broke each of these into separate buckets, which you can see here, which included primary search terms. For example, hematology would include hematology, blood, asterisk, anemia, bone, bone marrow, HEMA asterisk, so it would cover anything that started with HEMA, hemorrhagic and transfusion and plasma. I reduced this list first by using the All Science Journal or ASJC classifications that most uniquely matched with each health community. I extracted all the current research faculty listed up as authors on each paper and placed them in a bucket. So you can see on the spreadsheet what I did. So each person, this is actually the brain health example, each person would have their publications put under each one. Now, it's not one publication per bucket. One publication may have fallen into several buckets, but at the end of it, you will see the publications in the last 5 years, how many of those fell underneath brain health there. Then I would do a search and see how many publications over the 5-year period each researcher had in that bucket. Keep in mind, again, that each publication may be represented in more than one bucket. The buckets were then added together for a total, and that's how I determined the health community. I really feel this is a picture of our front page of our research experts, and then a summary. I just blew up what it looks like on the front page, and there's the link on if you want to look at the page. I feel this solution has met the challenges that were put forth by my BPR. And so visitors to the front page are able to see all of the health communities. They're able to click on them, on the badges, and it'll take them to everyone underneath each of the badges. And it works much in the way the COVID banner did. So between the COVID banner and the SDG search, it worked out really well for us. The badges give us the ability to communicate relevant health communities. Here's an individual profile. As I said, you do not see the icons, but you do see the individual research strategic pillar keywords. So for Dr. Emerides, for example, he falls under two different health communities. This has also allowed us to take ownership, a personalized ownership of the Pure module in a new way, which I was very excited about. I wanted us to be able to use Pure as we needed to use it and really personalize it a little more. And I'm very thankful that Pure made it is easy enough to use that we were able to do that. It's more than just straight out of the box personalization. It allows us to really make it our own and take ownership. So where are we going from here? What I would like to see is I would like to, rather than use the spreadsheet and go through each individual publication one by one by one, like I did, I want to be able to use the reporting module to pull those ASJCs and then pull it that way so that I don't have to spend 6 weeks going through individual profiles every 5 years. I also want to expand the badging. I want to be able to include the icons. I want to expand it to the organizational units, and I also want to expand it to publications and grants and projects. And I'm so hoping with the personalization aspects of the formerly known as Stella project that we will be able to add badge icons in each of these instances, similar to how the SDGs are currently done. At this point, Pure has not been able to allow us to do that because of programmatic restraints, but like I said, I bug them all the time and I cross my fingers. So I really hope that it'll work for us. And again, thank you